Hi, my name is Suzanne Thompson, and I am currently doing my internship in informal supervision with Sacramento County CPS. And informal supervision is when a family is offered to receive services to prevent their family from having a CPS case with the court. And this week I'm doing my video on mandated reporting. I do not personally have any fears or concern with being a mandated reporter or reporting things that I see as abuse, any type of abuse, sexual, physical, or emotional. I understand that when a report is made by a mandated reporter, that the person making the report is not listed in the report, and the family or person who is accused of the abuse or whatever the case is, or the child that's being allegedly abused, the reporter is not associated to the report in any way. And so there is no concern with any kind of retaliation or it coming back on the reporter. In the state of California, there are multiple people in different positions that are mandated reporters. They range from clergy, child care providers, teachers, law enforcement, mental health professionals, counselors, commercial film and photographic print processing. So, for instance, if a film has gone into like Walgreens and they see pornographic or some type of abuse, they are required to report it. There is a hotline that can be called by a mandated reporter, and they are asked what their name is when they call. However, like I said previously, their name is not attached in the report. My agency's protocol is it's not required for a staff person to make the report. Anybody can make the report. Generally, when a person, whether it's a family member or foster parent, it reports something to a staff person, such as myself, we request that that person make the report because they have the firsthand knowledge. And generally, when you make the report, the emergency response staff have several questions that they have that you may not have the answers to. So it's really, we recommend and request that the person giving us this information call the hotline themselves. When a report is made, they can either contact the Child Protective Services hotline or they can call law enforcement. They can report it to a teacher. A family member can report it to a teacher, or somebody who's not a mandated reporter can report it to a mandated reporter, if that makes sense. It is actually in the state of California, if a mandated reporter receives information from a child or family member regarding suspected abuse and they do not make a report, it is actually a misdemeanor if they do not make the report. The mandated reporters make the report regardless of whether or not they feel it's a valid concern. If a child comes to them and tells them that they are reporting that they're being abused in any form or fashion, the mandated reporter is required to report that to law enforcement or child protective services. And then it is up to the Child Protective Service Emergency Response Department to determine the validity of the allegation. It is not the responsibility or required of the mandated reporter to do the investigation to determine if the accusation or allegation is valid. Previously, in my internship and my bachelor's, you did individual counseling for teens who had been expelled from school. And one meeting I had with one of my clients is I did tell her that our meetings were completely confidential and anything that happened in our meetings was between us. I failed to tell her that I was a mandated reporter, and if she reported any type of abuse or to me or anybody was being hurt or homicidal or suicidal, that I would have to report that. In one of our meetings, she did report to me that she had been molested when she was younger. It had been about 10 years prior. And after she had told me, I did have to tell her, I'm sorry, but I'm a mandated reporter, so I am going to have to report this. So that was really hard because I felt like I defied her confidence in me. However, I did report it and I did call the hotline. I don't know what ever came of it. She didn't remember the person's name. It was a family friend. It had been 10 years prior and she was 14 years old at the time. So, but I did learn my lesson that I will, in any individual counseling sessions, make sure that I let people know that I'm a mandated reporter moving forward. So that was a lesson learned and it'll never happen again. So that's all I have about mandated reporting.